Alright, look, hip-hop, anime, an underrated combination. Think shows like Samurai Champloo, shows like Gangsta, shows that have that vibe rating of a fucking 10 out of 10. Look at me, I know vibes, I'm a vibe magnet. Look at my face, my beautiful face. After days of searching for more shows that have that vibe I'm looking for, that hip-hop, anime aesthetic, one of my trusted sources recommended me this show that's carried by only vibes alone. And when I say carried by vibes alone, it's absolutely backpacked by its vibes alone. Tokyo Tribe 2. And before you get all scared, like, oh, it's 2, that's a sequel, I have to watch the first one. It's sort of a sequel, not really, it's more like a remake or a redo of the live action they decided to do. Because the entire premise is based off a one-shot manga. But you know what they decided to do for the live action? They decided to make it a musical. The shit's actually worse than the anime. I'm gonna refrain from butchering it because I really want to make a video on it in the future, so I'm gonna refrain from butchering it for now. Just now. Compared to the anime, it has its own campiness and wackiness to talk about. Let's get into the next part of the show. The show takes place in Tokyo, Japan, where we follow our main character, Kai. Now, this is the part where I usually say something witty and funny, you know, as you guys know me for, but I got nothing for this guy. The only thing we know about this nigga is that he owns a metal bat, a fucking Honda, and he's a part of the Saru. That being said, he also has a group of friends alongside him in this gang. My personal favorite, Hashim. He's pretty much like one of those comic relief characters that you usually ignore, but in a show like this with all the characters having pretty much no personality, I mean, he just stands out like a sore thumb, so he's my favorite. We also have another friend, I guess. He's just a character that shows up at the beginning of the show, and he just sort of just sticks around. His name is Tamiya, but they call him fucking Secretary. They don't even bother to learn this kid's name. They call him Secretary throughout the entire show. I had to fucking go back to the first episode to learn this kid's name. His character traits are that he's smart because he wears glasses and carries a notebook or a calculator around. I don't fucking know. He's fucking boring too. Well, until later and he does some weird shit, but it doesn't really matter because it wraps up very quickly. And finally we have Terra, which I don't really want to include in this list of friends because yeah, but I'm going to include him on this list anyway, even though he gets domed off in the second episode by our second main character, who's actually more entertaining than Kai. We have Mira. Yeah, the show does a really cool thing, making the rival gang have their own main characters. And our two main characters have a little backstory with each other, even though it's going to take us 11 episodes to figure that the fuck out. But anyways, we have Mira. He's a part of the Wurans. Rudans. I'm just going to call him Wu for short because I'm not pronouncing that whole name. The Wu are located in Bukuro. Has our more entertaining main character, who's a badass black. Hold on a second. Okay, I think his mom had some explaining to do. And I said had as in past tense because she was killed and turned into these corpse dolls by his boss, Big Boopa. And he's working for him for a very sophisticated reason. And sophisticated reasoning and wordplay is something we love around here. So anyways, Boopa puts his dick in this guy's butt. Don't forget about Skunk.
Sabureo, bacayalo.
Yay, we all love Skunk, right? All in all, besides the fucking scene, the Wu are the more entertaining group, so I'm going to be talking about them a lot more than the Saru. The Saru just do a lot of just sitting around and letting shit happen to them. And that's kind of fucking boring for, you know, main characters. Oh shit, I forgot about Sunmi, who also looks like Mira's older girlfriend, who tragically killed herself in front of a train. Did I forget to mention that? I'm sorry. You gotta give me a break, alright? You're here to watch me and my genius. Just calm it down, just a tad bit. Alright, there's gonna be things I forget here. This show is dog shit. I'm sorry. If I forget something, go watch it yourself, okay? I don't recommend that. I don't recommend you going to go watch this yourself. You're gonna regret every last minute of that. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out here. Mira blames Kai for the death of his girlfriend, by the way. And look, I know you're gonna be like, wow, why couldn't you just explain that to us later on? Bro, and I tell you, it took us fucking 11 episodes to fucking figure that out. And this show is only 13. The fucking show just blue balls us the entire time. And once you figure it out by episode 10, what the fuck they're talking about, it's fucking stupid because this could have been fucking resolved in one conversation. Oh shit, and I forgot, there's this gang called the Hands. The Hands, so scary. Whoop-de-doo. The Hands are pretty much there to show how strong a character is. Like, that's their only purpose in the show at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can't feel bad for someone if you don't even know how they look. Good example, look at the leader. We know how the leader looks, we know how the leader's girlfriend looks, and guess what? Nothing ever happens to them the entire show. Wow, what a coincidence, right? Okay, now that I introduced you to every character that actually means something to this story, I can finally get into the plot. Please get ready because it's a fucking doozy. If you guys actually care about spoilers, please just skip to this timestamp. Now, with that being said, there's another heads up actually. There's no dub for the show at all. So if you're like me, a dub only watcher, you're out of luck, buddy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's take it back to when Kai and Mira were totally not gay and not fucking each other. Back when Kai and Mira were totally not gay and not fucking each other in their butts. Staring at the sunset, taking turns riding each other. But no, in terms of backstory and motivation for why Mira hates Kai so much, this is all they show you. Them being happy and totally best friends. By the way, I'm not gonna even bother remembering his girlfriend's name because she doesn't really fucking matter. And for some reason, he swore the next time he sees Kai, he will kill him. By the way, this little rundown I'm giving you, I'm doing you niggas a favor. You don't learn half the shit like 11 episodes in. After news broke out that a couple of the Saru were killed in Wu territory, Kai decides to go there himself in hopes of a little confrontation. And why were Saru members in Wu territory? For pussy, of course. Lots and lots of pussy. This show does a lot of that, by the way. Pussy's the main motivator in a lot of things. It even has this guy wanting to kill his old best friend for it, so yeah. But anyway, Kai runs into Mira, and Mira decides to let him go. Ah, see, I get it now. You meant the next time you see him, you're gonna kill him. Okay, it makes sense now. That's what he meant. So he lets him go, and Boopa gets wind of this. So he sends Mira off to the Saru territory to get shit done. And what do you know? Our two protagonists run into each other. By the way, here's 15 seconds of unedited footage. So after we hear them scream and moan each other's names for a couple seconds, I'm assuming we're gonna get a nice fight, right? You know, like Sasuke and Naruto, rivals to the better end, right? Right?
Kai, ついてこい。俺を捕まえてみろ!
So the guy you said you killed the next time you saw him, you see him, and you decide to play fucking tag. Interesting. After a friendly little squabble between our two protagonists of the series, Mira ends up having Kai dead to rights, hanging off the side of a building. And I'm not even gonna bullshit with you, this is one of the many problems I have with the show. The show never actually states whether these guys are superhuman or just normal humans. They can jump building to building, but they run as fast as a fat ass, overweight 9-year-old Swedish boy. Now somehow, by the grace of God, they survived this fall. Alright, cool. Now they're gonna get to fighting, right? Right? Nope. Boopa gets wind of Mira not finishing off his BFF/lover, and then he forces him to work with his son, Nikoi. Now, this character pisses me off, and he doesn't piss me off in the way you think he does. It pisses me off the fact that he was only in here for like 2 episodes. He was a cool ass character. Look at this intro. He's a cool ass character, and they fucking wasted him. I don't get it. He has so much potential. Imagine like a snot-nosed, spoiled kid that only cares about inheriting his father's power, constantly antagonizing our second protagonist, making it a 3-way love triangle. Wouldn't that be fire? Wouldn't that be entertaining? Right? I know you're going to agree with me because I'm smarter than you. At least we still have his bodyguard thingy. cyborg guy. I don't know. His name is Galileo. We don't really see him again until like the end of the show. So another wasted character actually. But there's one character, just one, that I'll give the show credit for not wasting.
Please take off your jacket. Excuse me. あれ？一体どうなって？What is this?
This show doesn't really pick up until this guy appears. His name is Jadakins. Due to Mira blaming Nicoi's death on the hands, they call up Jadakins to come and smoke him. You remember what I said earlier about the hands being nothing but fodder? Yeah, I was thinking about this guy when I said it. He comes around and he fucking smokes these niggas. That's another thing I'll give this show credit for. It does a really good job of making you fucking terrified of this dude. Like when I say terrifying, I deadass mean he's deadass biting niggas' eyeballs out. Like, what the fuck? I don't know a character on this show that makes me more uncomfortable than this nigga. Okay, that was a lie. But wait, actually, another turn of the tables. He's actually here for her. You see, he's here because she's a princess of some type of drug kingpin in Hong Kong. Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. This show really wants the DSL blow up doll to be like a driving force in this show for almost every plot point. And I don't really like it. We're gonna take it back just a little bit. See, I did a lot of skipping over this one character, Skunk. The character that's really designed for you to hate him. There's no redeeming qualities about this guy. You can just look at his character design, it makes me wanna fucking punch my screen right now. His whole motto is to follow the strongest. So pretty much he's just a nut hugger. And after realizing nut hugging Mira just won't be enough for him, he decides to start working with Jada behind his back, which eventually leads Jada to be right on Sunmi's tail. Now at this point, I really haven't done a lot of talking about the Saru because I'm not gonna lie to you, they're fucking boring. Kai is a main character and he fucking sucks. Like shit just happens to him. The only thing they do is sit around in this fucking diner all day. That's fucking boring. Kai himself brings no sense of urgency to the show. I really recommend you guys watching the show just to see I'm not wrong. I mean, Hashim can only carry this group with comedy and blue ball humor for so fucking long until that gets boring. And Secretary, he doesn't really do anything of interest until he betrays the gang. Okay, I forgot to mention that too. He helps Skunk set up the former gang leader of the Saru, who then gives the information to Jada. And then this happens. The dude gets his eye chewed up and spat out because of this kid. So you would think he wouldn't be welcome back, right? Oh, no, we're good. Force Ghost Terra comes back and lets him know everything's okay and have faith in the gang. All that blah, 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 blue bullshit. Like, no one cares. I don't really blame the kid for betraying them. They don't even learn his fucking name. Okay, but yeah, back to the more entertaining gang, the Wu. We get a long, drawn-out chase, and I mean long, pause. Jada finally backs Kai into a corner. Here comes Mira to save the guy. Yep, he's saving the guy that he vowed to kill. Great. But I'm going to give him the pass here due to the anime rule. You know, the whole, oh, you're going to die by my hands rule. So, I get it. I won't harp on that too much. But you gotta listen, this makes 3 times Mira saved this guy's life. Don't worry, he has at least like 2 more coming up. You can pretty much assume at this point that the fight between them is never going to happen. After he saves and spares Kai's life again, he takes the blow-up doll lead to a love hotel. Yeah, the prostitute. Congratulations, Mira, you just tasted half of Tokyo, my boy. Okay, I'm failing again to mention the important part, and it's about Skunk. You see, he's been plotting the entire time. Shocker, right? A guy that looks like this is not sneaky. And the show lets you know that by the 2nd episode what kind of fucking character he is. He wants all of Tokyo under his control. He ends up taking all of Mira's men behind his back somehow. I don't really get how he could manage to do that when Mira was just in good relationships with all of them, but somehow he ends up convincing them to follow his lead, thus forming the Neo Rurons. And if you saw the fucking thumbnail, you know where this is going. After pretty much forcing Mira to lose his temper and stab Big Boopa in his fat ass head, which causes Boopa to go full on Down syndrome mode, by the way. I swear I'm not skipping through anything, this is just how fast the show starts rolling towards the end. Anyway, while Boopa's out of commission for an episode or 2, there's only one guy in charge. Yeah, just when you couldn't dislike the nigga any more than you already did, he becomes full on Hitler. I love how this show just full on wants you to hate this man and it doesn't hide it. That's the funniest part about this show, I'll admit. But anyways, he tries to find Sumi in hopes of taking Big Poopa's power and control over Tokyo. Like him or not, Skunk is a man of ambition, no matter how sneaky and stinky he looks. While the Woojers decide to pick on all the gangs in Tokyo and Mira's in hiding, we have the Satoru over here that decides to get all the gangs together and decide to host a meeting. And that goes exactly how you think it go. Meanwhile, while these guys get their shit together, Sumi gets captured by the men that are still loyal to Boopa, and now it's a race between Mira and Skunk to get her back. Oh, and I forgot to mention, by the way, not all the guys decide to turn their back on Mira. He actually has a few converters from the Neo ones that decide to actually stick with him. And I think this is where the show wants us to see how Mira enjoys having loyal friends and doesn't like being a fucking recluse. Since, you know, throughout the show, Mira decided to be edgy the entire time. He has like a permanent resting bitch face. The Saru and Hands and 2 other games that I absolutely do not remember, and they don't matter at all actually. They decided to go down to Shibuya to confront the Neo Wu once and for all. It's a nice battle, I'm not gonna lie. It had me fully immersed in the show. It only took them like 6 episodes to do so. Ever since Jada left, it kinda got boring. And speaking of Jada, he didn't really die. He was also somewhere recovering and licking his battle wounds. And like I said, when Jada was around, the plot was moving so fucking fast, as you can imagine. But let's keep this on track for just a second, because I'm almost done wrapping this shit up. Anyways, Kai gets wind of the Neo Wu's leader, Skunk, being located at Boopa's palace. And since we know Skunk is there for Sunmi, and we know Mira is on his way for Sunmi, it's gonna be one big, fat, stanky love triangle. We love to see it. So everybody decides to take a big visit to Boopa's palace. Isn't that kind of crazy? All of these years, these guys never knew where Boopa's hideout was. Isn't that kind of crazy? Tokyo's only so big. I think that's what's ruining the show for me. I'm overthinking it. I have to dumb myself down like you guys, the audience. But upon arriving on Boopa's big palace, we see Mira getting strangled by Galileo. I honestly forgot about this kid. After the tunnel fight, we didn't really get any mention of him ever since then. After another chase with Galileo, but this time in Boopa's palace, we finally see the end of this guy. I think if this guy can survive being drowned to death, I think he can survive falling off a fucking building. You expect me to believe this shit kills him? You guys jump building to building, skyscraper to skyscraper, and nothing bad happens to you. Oh, and another thing, there's a lot of fucking running in the show. Like, you think you'd see more fights on average since the premise is like gangbanging, but no, like 70% of the time in conflict, the kids are running from each other. Isn't that fun? We love seeing people get chased. We love chase scenes. If I wanted to watch fucking chase scenes, I go watch fucking Scooby-Doo. But now, Mira finally confronts Skunk. He cuts him down and ends all this shit. He spares him. Mira does a lot of sparing in the show, but I get it. We have 1 episode left, so we can't just waste his character. At least someone gets fucking killed this episode. We have to choose between Japanese Hitler and a fucking actual rapist. But don't rest just yet. Somehow Skunk runs past Kai, grabs Sunmi, and gets the fuck out of there. Okay, I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing, so I don't have to waste my breath on that. That's fucking stupid. Anyways, now we're in a car chase. Yeah, more chasing, but this time in cars. Yeah. And now Mira and Kai are really working with each other officially. Eventually, Mira starts thinking to himself, hey, maybe Kai didn't kill my girlfriend after all. The girlfriend dying and blaming it on his best friend reasoning is so fucking dumb. Let me give you guys a flashback. So Kai entered a DJ party. He won $1 million, the exact amount needed to have his parents spared. They could have just used that plot of Kai never giving him the money and his parents getting killed, and that could have been enough reasoning for him right there. Isn't that not? Why do we need his girlfriend and his parents getting killed being the reasoning why? Kai never gave him the $1 million to save his family, so now he devotes himself to hating and wanting to kill Kai. That is enough reasoning right there. We don't need she got pushed in front of a train, it's all Kai's fault. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. And also, Big Boopa, you killed this nigga's family right in front of him and you think you're gonna make him your most trusted man for years? What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, car chase. That's what we're supposed to be talking about. The car chase that goes on and on and on. Hey, they even have enough time to switch fucking cars. Isn't that crazy? After surviving this fucking crash and running away at full speed like nothing ever happened, Skunk runs into these little Nazi guys that decide they don't want to work for him anymore. And I don't really make the rules here, but I don't think that's how it works. Like, once you're a Nazi, I think that sticks with you forever, but what do I know? Anyway, seeing this, Skunk spazzes out and takes off, running right into Jada. Yeah, Jada's fully healed now, by the way. He comes back to doing what he does best. I love Jada. Rest in peace, Skunk. After more chasing, Kai and Mira chase Jada into a building in hopes of saving Sunmi. Now, I showed this show a lot, but I like this moment because the show does a whole I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me moment. And Jada is terrifying as usual. And I also really like the soundtrack they used for this moment. After Kai gets back into a corner, right on cue, his baby daddy Mira comes and save him yet again. Finally, he does something with that fucking sword. But yeah, Mira and Kai save Sunmi and let her run away free, bringing the end to her involvement of the plot. Mira distracts Jada and leads him off to the rooftop, saving Kai's ass again, by the way, leading the final showdown on the show to a standoff on our rooftop. I don't think we've seen the sun outside of flashback, so that's actually kind of crazy to think about. No wonder Kai reacts to something like a fucking vampire when he gets out. He only gets out at night. Anyways, standoff. That's what we're talking about. And hey, the hands leader is here with the fucking bazooka. Anyway, she shoots that bazooka right through Jada's big torso. And that's the end of Jada. In the end, our two main characters come together and decide to be friends again, and they live happily ever after. The guy was so filled with hater energy, he decided to use the last of it to take out his boy crush. You know, the show tries to be a little subtle and do the he's dead, or is he moment at the end where all the characters all welcome in a random figure. Okay, so that's the story wrapped up as fast as I could. Of course, there's some details I didn't add, but you're gonna have to watch the show yourself. Bless your fucking beautiful heart. Because that would take absolutely forever to mention all the other shit that didn't really affect the story in any fucking way. Nor were entertaining. All in all, 8.5 out of 10. I know I've been shilling in the show the entire time, but, you know, I bitch at everything. It's genuinely not a bad watch, especially if you're watching it with a friend like I did. So, yeah, give it a try. Recommendation? Watch it with a friend.